Hidden beneath layers of ancient ice, remarkable discoveries are reshaping our understanding of human history. From perfectly preserved bodies to lost settlements, these frozen time capsules offer unprecedented glimpses into how our ancestors lived thousands of years ago. In 1991, two hikers in the Alps made an incredible discovery: a human body preserved in ice for over 5,000 years. This was Otzi the Iceman, and his story has revolutionized our understanding of ancient European life. Found with his clothing, tools, and even his last meal still intact, Otzi gives us an amazing window into life during the Copper Age. He carried a copper axe, wore leather and fur clothing, and had 61 tattoos on his body. Scientists found that he ate ibex meat before dying and suffered from various health issues, including arthritis. But perhaps most fascinating is how he died. An arrow wound in his shoulder reveals he was likely murdered, creating one of history's oldest cold cases. His discovery changed everything we thought we knew about how advanced European civilization was at that time. Deep in Siberia's permafrost, archaeologists have uncovered spectacular tombs belonging to the Scythians, ancient warriors who ruled the steppes 2,500 years ago. These frozen graves have kept their secrets locked in ice, preserving everything from elaborate tattoos to colorful clothing and even the warriors' weapons. The cold has protected delicate items that usually rot away. Leather saddles decorated with griffin figures, wooden carvings, and textiles with bright red and gold patterns. Most amazing are the mummies themselves, some with their hair, skin, and tattoos still visible after thousands of years. Their tattoos show beautiful animals like deer, leopards, and mythical creatures, giving us a rare look at Scythian art. The items found in these tombs tell us these people were skilled riders and archers who developed a rich culture mixing influences from China, Persia, and Greece. The melting ice in Greenland is uncovering amazing traces of Viking life that vanished 500 years ago. These Norse settlers built farms, churches, and entire communities that thrived for centuries before mysteriously disappearing. As the ice retreats, archaeologists are finding remarkably preserved items, from wooden tools and clothing to animal bones and building foundations. The Vikings raised cattle, sheep, and goats here from around 985 to 1450 CE. They even had dairy farms producing butter and cheese, proven by the discovery of ancient milk proteins in soil samples. But why did they leave? New evidence suggests it wasn't just the cold that drove them away. Changes in trade routes, conflicts with local Inuit people, and a shift in their main source of income, ivory from walrus tusks, all played a part in their departure. These frozen sites are like a time machine, showing us exactly how these medieval Norse pioneers lived and why their settlements eventually failed. High in the Andes Mountains, the ice has preserved some of the most remarkable Incan discoveries: the bodies of children offered as religious sacrifices. These young victims, called capacocha, were chosen for their perfect looks and taken to mountain peaks over 20,000 feet high. The freezing conditions have kept them so well preserved that they look like they're just sleeping. One famous example is La Doncella, a teenage girl found in Argentina with her hair braided and wearing fine wool clothing. Scientists learned these children were fed special foods and given coca leaves before their deaths. They were part of important Incan ceremonies meant to connect with mountain gods. The frozen bodies still have their original hair, skin, and internal organs, while their clothes and the gifts buried with them remain in amazing condition. Their discovery helps us understand Incan religious practices and shows how they climbed to extreme heights for their ceremonies. In Alaska's melting ice patches, archaeologists are finding amazing hunting tools that have been frozen for thousands of years. These ice patches were spots where ancient hunters waited for caribou, trying to escape summer insects by cooling off on the snow. When hunters lost or left behind their tools, the ice preserved them perfectly. We found wooden arrows still sharp after 4,000 years, spear points with original sinew ties, and even leather pouches containing emergency repair supplies. One exciting find was a complete atlatl, a throwing stick that helped hunters launch spears faster and farther than by hand. The really cool part is finding organic materials like feathers still attached to arrows and strips of hide used for binding. These discoveries show us these weren't just simple hunters. They were skilled craftspeople who made complex weapons and understood animal behavior. Their tools were so well designed that modern hunters still use similar techniques today. When we think of Ice Age fashion, most people imagine basic animal skins. But frozen discoveries are showing us that ancient clothing was far more advanced than we thought. In glaciers and frozen tombs, we're finding detailed textiles that have kept their original colors and patterns for thousands of years. Some of the best examples come from the Alps, where we've found wool leggings with complex designs, leather shoes waterproofed with grass stuffing, and cloaks made from multiple animal furs stitched together. The clothes show that ancient people weren't just trying to stay warm, they cared about style too. They used natural dyes to create bright colors, developed different weaving patterns, and even added decorative trim to their garments. These frozen outfits also tell us about ancient trading networks, as some materials came from hundreds of miles away. Climate change is revealing ancient secrets as ice melts across the globe, but this discovery comes with a serious challenge. As warming temperatures expose frozen artifacts and settlements, archaeologists are racing against time to study and preserve these treasures. In Scandinavia, melting ice patches have revealed Viking hunting gear, ancient arrows, and even leather shoes. The Mongolian steppes are giving up horse riding equipment and weapons from nomadic tribes. In Canada's ice fields, researchers have found hunting tools used by indigenous peoples thousands of years ago. While these discoveries are expanding our knowledge of human history, they're also at risk. Once exposed to air and warmth, these perfectly preserved items can decay within days or hours. Scientists are using new technology like 3D scanning and special storage techniques to save what they can, turning this environmental crisis into an opportunity to learn about our past. The frozen world hasn't just preserved human history. It's also given us amazingly intact ancient animals that tell us about our ancestors' environment and hunting practices. In Siberia, we've found complete woolly mammoths with their skin, organs, and even the plants in their stomachs intact. One baby mammoth, nicknamed Lyuba, still had her mother's milk in her stomach. In the Alps, scientists discovered ancient goats and sheep with their fur and horns perfectly preserved, showing what livestock looked like thousands of years ago. These frozen animals help us understand what ancient people hunted, how the climate has changed, and what animals lived alongside our ancestors. The really exciting finds are when we discover these animals with human hunting marks or tools nearby. Direct evidence of how people survived in these harsh environments. The story of how early humans survived in freezing environments is written in the ice caves they once called home. These caves, scattered across Europe and Asia, show remarkable signs of human creativity. People used the natural insulation of caves to stay warm, often setting up camps near the entrance where they could control the temperature. They built fires that left behind layers of ash and charcoal, giving us exact dates of when they lived there. In some caves, we've found remains of fur bedding, stone tools, and animal bones that show how they hunted and prepared food. The cave walls often feature art showing the animals they encountered, like woolly rhinos and cave bears. What's fascinating is how these people figured out which caves would stay warm enough to live in, and how they used every part of their hunted animals, not just for food, but for clothing and tools too. The tools we use to study frozen artifacts have come a long way from simple excavation. Today's scientists use ground-penetrating radar to find sites hidden under ice, and CT scanners reveal what's inside frozen objects without damaging them. DNA analysis tells us about ancient people's appearances and health conditions. We can even track their family connections and migration patterns. Special cameras can see details invisible to the human eye, showing faded tattoos and worn-out writing. Laser scanning creates perfect 3D models of artifacts, preserving their details forever. In labs, scientists use mass spectrometers to learn what ancient people ate and what materials they used to make their tools. These high-tech methods are helping us piece together stories that have been frozen in time for thousands of years. Thanks for joining us on this frozen journey through time. These icy discoveries continue to amaze us with new insights about our past. If you enjoyed learning about these frozen treasures, hit like, subscribe, and share with fellow history enthusiasts.